It is SummerSlam week. We got all of your info, news, matches, recaps, results, all that good stuff on the road to SummerSlam, coming to you live from Cleveland this Saturday. The Miz is hosting. That's awesome. Getting his flowers a little bit. Will Logan Paul lose his title in his hometown? We can't wait to see. Hit that subscribe button for us. It's Spandex Standups. We got a special guest co-host with us, the very funny, so insightful in her wrestling knowledge.
Yes.
Tara Brown, everybody.
Hi, everybody, which always surprises people. They're like, you watch wrestling? I'm like, yes,
That's what I love about pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's because, what do you mean I don't look like I watch pro wrestling?
I'm offended. I love pro wrestling. I've watched it since I was a kid.
There's so many just ethnicities, genders, everything in pro wrestling. That's hurtful.
It transcends everything.
Exactly.
That's fun.
I love it. What a time to be a wrestling fan, too.
Oh my
All of our years have finally paid off.
Exactly. Well, I feel like people don't laugh at us like before. Before they're like, she watches wrestling. Does she know?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you my story when I realized it was scripted?
No.
It was like heartbreaking.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I was younger and I was watching it, and there was this feud going on between Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
And then later on,
So you're an old school fan like me. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I was watching the news later that night, and they got arrested together for alcohol.
That's a great story.
Remember that? And then I was thinking to myself, no, that's not right. They're not friends.
They're not friends. One of them got fired over
Exactly.
that.
I was like, that's not friends.
Not because of the DUI, but because they were a heel and a face were riding together.
And then probably because they ruined it for me.
There you go.
And that's when I realized.
You were the target audience, and they were like, we can't ruin kayfabe.
Yeah, exactly. So they ruined it for me, and then that same week, I think I found out that Santa Claus wasn't real. So
just life tragedy after tragedy there. No, my grandfather up front was like, this is scripted. He didn't say scripted. He said the hurtful word.
Yeah, he said the F word.
Yeah.
He said the 4-letter F word that we're like, that was a bad F word before there was the other F word.
The cool thing about my grandfather, though, is later on in life, he was an athlete. He was a minor league baseball pitcher. And at one point, he was the number 2 ranked bowler in the Southeast.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a great athlete.
Look at the stock you come from.
Right.
How about that?
So as time went on and his body started to let him down, he just truly appreciated athletes and athleticism. Like, he got super into women's college basketball.
Oh, nice.
It was adorable.
I love that.
And so he started to appreciate, when I would watch wrestling, he'd be like, it might be the F word, but man, they make it look great.
The other piece of it, which you have to have a tremendous amount of respect for, these folks have no off season. Like, they go all year long. And the level of conditioning you have to have for your body and all of the good things. And I just watch them, and I'm actually in awe of that, the way they treat their bodies and they put it all on the line. One of the most heartwarming and heartbreaking scenes for me was just at WrestleMania. I remember at the end when Cody won and Seth couldn't get up. And Jey Uso and Kevin Owens had to help him up, and I was just like,
he struggled because he had surgery after that.
Yeah,
had a bunch of time off the heel after that. But to push it, he's like, knowing the finish line is WrestleMania. He's like, I just got to, or Cody at what was it, Hell in a Cell?
Oh my God, he took that thing off, and I was like, oh my word, his pack.
The crowd was completely dead for the first part of the match because they didn't, like us at home, didn't know how to react to what was going on.
Best promo months after that is when Roman said, when your pec went pop. I was like, yikes. I love Roman, but that was savage.
That's when you're like, Roman got a promo all of a sudden.
I miss him so much.
I hope. Well,
I think we're gonna see him Saturday.
I think we'll get into it. So let's get in some news up top real quick. Jesse Ventura back with WWE. Interesting to see what that means.
I know, that was weird. It was Minnesota. He used to be the governor of Minnesota.
Just had backstage segment.
Yeah, I didn't know how I felt about it. I like Jesse. I loved him commentating. He was like the best commentator.
I've been rewatching. I started watching Raw episode 1, and I've been letting it just roll. So we covered SummerSlam '94 2 weeks ago, and so definitely go check that out. But I'm at that time frame, summer '94, and just it's right when Macho Man and Vince were on commentating, and it's right when they're getting Gorilla Monsoon more involved, and we had some great, like, not to take anything against the commentators, right? Because I think Michael Cole is going to go down as one of the greats. I mean, he already is.
Yeah.
But we had some great commentators.
Yes, and that's the other thing you have to have respect for with pro wrestling is like, especially with WWE, their vault is insane. Like if you can go back, like some days kind of similar to you, but I'm doing it just because I'm bored. Like I'll go back on Peacock or something and watch something. I was like, this was so good.
I love the nostalgia factor. Like if I'm feeling down in the dumps, I'll go watch something that I probably watched 1,000 times as a kid. Because my early days with wrestling, was Saturday mornings.
Yes.
And we didn't have. My mom was like, "You crazy kid? We're not buying pay-per-views. Get out of here." So we would go to the local video store.
Yeah.
And I'd watch the WrestleMania when it finally made it to video.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea like who the current champs were, anything like that. I just got to learn the wrestlers through all that. And then Saturday morning, I tuned in.
It's going to be interesting for me this Saturday because I'm going to be out of town.
Same.
And so I am going to avoid Instagram and Facebook like the plague. So I'm just going to, up until, the show starts, I'm just going to have to go off.
Yeah, same.
Go off it. Yeah.
But no, I'm excited to see what they do. LWO's Cruz del Toro has been medically cleared. He's been out since WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
No Buddy Matthews in WWE. He has wanted to leave and put in his notice at AEW, but Tony Khan came back with a significant deal, so he re-upped with AEW. So
how's AEW doing? I don't watch AEW. Okay, I don't watch it.
This is a WWE podcast.
Exactly. So WWE, can we get some sponsorship dollars for this podcast?
Right.
It seems to be doing okay. It's still on television.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
And I mean, I think it's not even fun to pick on them anymore for like blacking out half the side, because they didn't sell out the arenas. What's wrong with going back and being the king of the indies? Like, go sell out armories again. That's when I loved pro wrestling.
Yeah.
When TNA was doing the little armory run.
Yeah.
I loved that. I got to smoke a cigarette.
Aren't they coming here?
Out of the armory.
Did they come or
they did Blood and Guts.
It came already. Okay.
Yeah. Which another thing with AEW, since they don't really have a lot, I guess they don't have a lot of pay-per-view buys. But they give a lot. They're like WCW. They give a lot away on TV.
Do they really?
Yeah. But I think that helps them get their TV deal. So I think they're chasing their tail at this point.
Kind of like when you're a comedian and you're trying to fill a room. It's like, we're going to have to pay for some of these. It's like,
just give them away.
Just give them away.
Triple H and Nick Khan talking to London officials about bringing a WrestleMania to the UK. That'd be huge, right?
That'd be nice.
Do Tottenham Stadium out there?
I thought they teased that.
They want to keep and see, they've already been, it's out there so much that someone asked Cena if he would love it, and he was like, "I'll be there."
It's hard to believe it's never been there.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Okay,
maybe SummerSlam was back in the day.
I feel it had to have one of the big four out there, right?
They did the British Bulldog Bret Hart.
There you go.
Great.
Which
was fantastic. It's crazy to think they didn't take it back.
Yeah.
Whatever. That was 92.
Especially since they're getting so international now.
Yeah.
Okay, can I say this? Because I didn't get a chance to say this on the Okay. I'm probably in the minority. The European crowds annoy me with all the singing and stuff. Because I'm like, I want to hit a match. And I think it's cute and sweet. And I'm sure the wrestlers are like, wow, that's great. But I'm like,
able to tone it out. You know what I mean? Like, I like it. Like, by all means, go crazy on the entrances.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was super cool when they were moving the camera at AJ's intro in France.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes.
But no, I agree with you. During the match, shut up.
During the match, I'm like, are y'all at it? Like, where do you think you are? It's annoying. Okay.
Yeah. Like, all right, man. NXT superstars Blair Davenport and Riley Osborne of Chase U got hitched over the weekend.
Good for them.
I always love when two wrestlers get together.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only people that could keep up with that travel schedule.
Yeah, but I don't know. I dated somebody I worked with once. It was annoying.
Yeah.
But wrestlers seem to make it work.
I think you can disappear in the arena and like get away from each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
or one can go to Raw and one can go to SmackDown. But I heard that WWE doesn't do that. I think they keep couples together. Mm.
Ronda Rousey announces she's pregnant with baby number 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not a fan of Rousey, but
now.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Hush now, girl.
I want her nothing but the best, but
exactly. We don't want to hear from you anymore.
We understand your last run sucked. All right, we get it.
You know what? I feel validated because I never bought into it from minute one.
And I wanted her to give Baszler the rub, which she did, but then they floundered it. So another one who needs to shut up, Goldberg, does not consider himself retired. He's just focusing on getting his son ready for college because his son wants to play football and baseball in college.
Does he know that we consider him retired?
Yeah. I hope he never comes back.
Yeah.
That Undertaker match was probably one
That
of
was
the worst
hard to
matches
watch.
I ever seen.
That was hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, he's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt Taker. He did hurt Taker, didn't he?
Yeah. Taker's like, I'm never getting in the ring. They're having the open tryouts in Cleveland like they usually do for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Got some former football players signing up. Trill Williams played for the Saints and Dolphins.
Okay.
And Elijah Holyfield, the son of
I
Evander
saw
Holyfield.
that. That's pretty cool.
2 former players trying out this weekend in Cleveland. This is the first time it will be open to the fans.
Very
The
nice.
fans can watch the tryouts.
That's really nice.
Yeah, get the behind the scenes
They'll
stuff.
get the Holyfield kid just for name recognition alone.
Dude's
I'm sure.
a beast.
Yeah.
Dude.
Is he
I
really?
wanted the Panthers had him on the squad for a little bit, and he just never took off. But dude is an athlete.
Well, good for them. I hope it works out.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're happy with how Trick Williams came out. So I think they'd be open to more, because unfortunately we went to Mojo Rawley and those guys kind of, they're like, let's stay away from football players.
Yeah.
But then Trick's a bona fide superstar.
He's just come in and done amazing things. Good for him.
He's almost outgrown NXT. Now
That's
they're kind of
right.
like, they don't know what to do with him now in NXT.
How long do you think before they send him to the big show?
I think he'll debut in like Royal next year, maybe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because I think they realized they held on to Carmelo a little too long.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have anything to do on the main roster because they didn't capitalize when he was the highest.
But you know what? I enjoy him. I find
love
him
Carmelo.
entertaining. I think his promo work is really good. I really enjoy him. I feel right now, and I know we'll get there. They have so much talent. I don't think they know what to do with half of these people.
Yeah, like they're doing better than they ever have with the talent. But
Yeah.
there's still some poor guys like Andrade and Carmelo, that LA Knight,
Yeah.
because they still didn't pull the trigger on LA when he was.
If he does not win against Logan Paul, I don't know what they're doing with him.
He's going to AJ. You see, AJ's got to take some time off because they got to let us forget how massively they ruined that.
Yeah. This is bad.
Our last news for this episode: Seth Rollins promises his Raw referee attire is just the appetizer. He says to tune in to SummerSlam for the main course.
When I looked at his attire on Monday, what I was reminded of is when my favorite wrestler of all time, Macho Man Randy Savage, said he used to get his clothes by a man who made clothes for pimps.
Yes.
I think Seth has seen that guy or a descendant of that guy, because all of his stuff looks like pimp wear.
Yeah. I think he went to this super fabulous old lady's estate sale and just bought everything.
You gotta love him that he's so comfortable in his skin. He goes for it. I'm like, it's not my cup of tea, but live your life, Seth Rollins.
I love that no one can mess with him. He's got people still just sing his song.
With the
Dude's cross-dressing and in the ruralest of southern places, and people are like, nah.
Like any other setting, we probably wouldn't like this, but this okay here. And I think, who was it? Michael Cole or Pat McAfee was like, even his shoes have stripes. It was so funny. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I hope he gets even more ridiculous with it. Do you think this sparks him? Like, is he done taking time off? You think he's healthy, good to go? Like, are we still easing?
I think he has to take time off. I don't, it's funny with him because I never think he's well.
Right. He's never 100%.
He's never 100% well.
Yeah.
And sometimes I see it and I'm starting to feel about him like I felt about people like Edge, and like when they got in the ring, I'm like, don't hurt him.
I still
Randy
feel
Orton.
that way with Daniel Bryan.
I adore Randy Orton, and when the the bloodline like put him over the table, I was like holding my breath.
Yeah.
I was like, they know it's back, right?
Laura was like, because she heard it was like, his back.
His back, exactly. I was like, his back. And so I feel that way about Seth. I think he probably needs to take more time off, but then I'm wondering, he just seems like he doesn't want
He's like,
to.
I'll retire at some point.
Yeah, I don't think...
I don't think he's going to stay till he's 50. I don't think this new breed of people are going to be the Hogans and Flairs.
He's also not the guy, like, you don't see him being a producer, you don't see him on commentary. He just needs to be in the mix.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like Stone Cold, to where he goes off and does his own thing, and he comes back for appearances.
Has one of those Legends deals, right?
Yeah. Or Kevin Nash, where he's like, you don't see me until you need to see me.
What I do think is fascinating about the whole thing, I am one of those people who do not like CM Punk. Do not like him.
I hate CM Punk.
I don't like him at all.
No, I haven't been a fan of CM Punk since he left.
Yeah,
when he took his ball and became what he was complaining about.
Yeah.
He became the part-timer.
Exactly. Not a fan at all. I was really disappointed with him coming back. And I really hated that he came back on the same night Randy Orton came back and like kind of stole his thunder.
I was upset he came back the same night R-Truth came back.
R-Truth. Let me tell you something. He used to irritate me. He has grown on me tremendously.
He's one of my favorites.
He knows his role and he plays it. But what I found fascinating about this whole Seth, Drew, CM Punk thing is like, you feel that they legitimately don't like each other. At least Drew and Seth not liking CM Punk. So it's just like, how is this going to work?
Yeah,
and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, because it adds that realness that we haven't felt since Matt Hardy and Edge and Lita.
Which, okay, can we talk about how trifling that was? It's like WWE is savage. It's like, hey, your heart may be broken because dudes took your girl, but let's make that into like a storyline.
And now we've learned that they did that. Like wrestling has done that so many times. Like Kevin Sullivan and Woman and Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit, which we're not going to finish that.
Sullivan, yeah. Jeez. So it's just I couldn't imagine them being like, "Oh, you're hurting right now? Guess what we're gonna do on TV tonight?"
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah,
feels like a very Real Housewives thing to do.
And I think we're hopefully getting away from it a little bit with crazy soap opera Vince
I don't think so, because when it goes to Netflix, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, they're gonna turn it up.
Oh my gosh, I'm just waiting. Because look at what they were doing with the Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan thing, and she was like straddling him. I was like, we're not on Netflix yet.
Well, I love how USA's like, and Fox is like, no,
not here.
Like they've been flicking wrestlers off, and Fox has blacked out the whole screen.
Oh wow!
So Triple H has been pretty upset with the.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they can't.
I noticed there were some blackout spots, but I guess I missed.
There was one Friday where every scene was blacked out almost, and it was just because Logan Paul was walking in and people did not care for him.
Yeah,
this has become one of my favorite segments. It's main event results. We track the dark matches that before Raw, and it's on Hulu. You should check it out. This week, AOP defeats LWO. So Cruz del Toro's back. They throw him right in and get squashed by AOP.
Those are some big dudes, AOP. Good gracious.
Yeah. I hope they get a push. Like I'm not out of all the great things that Triple H is doing right now, I feel like the tag team division is still lost in the shuffle.
That's what we were talking about earlier. They have so much talent. It's almost like an embarrassment of riches.
Street Profits still aren't champ. That upsets me every day.
Yeah, I don't know what. Well, you got to take it off of them eventually, but I just thought they were so much better when they were champs, and they just seem so lost. And
Montez had a great Instagram post and kind of was like, we done lost our leader because, Bobby Lashley's gone.
I heard
he's like, we got no direction, but he was like, we will win this tag team gauntlet match.
What do we think happened? Why did they just release Bobby Lashley?
I think Bobby wanted to be in the main event, and Triple H was like, you're not a main event guy anymore.
Wow. I like Bobby Lashley. I think
he'll go to AEW. They're talking about him and MVP recreating Hurt Business in AEW.
So, you know what?
Hopefully they'll bring along some young guys in AEW with them. Like, I wasn't exactly hyped about Jay White going to AEW, but he brought up the Guns with him. So I'm okay. As long as you bring up their talent with them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good for Bobby Lashley because they weren't going to do anything with him. And honestly, what's her name? God love her, B-Fab. She serves no purpose either. No. And so
we all, like, every time B-Fab shows up with the Street Profits, we're like, that should be Bianca. Unfortunately,
exactly.
You can't give us Bianca and Montez in their show and then give some other girl with Montez. Like, we're not going to accept it.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me know when we get there, because I'm trying to figure out, is that Bianca heel turn going to happen in SummerSlam?
We're so close. Right, the other main event was Isla Dawn of the Unholy Union defeating Ivy Nile, who poor Ivy Nile's got no direction.
Can I tell you, I love her look.
Yeah, she looks like a Street Fighter character.
Man, and I actually thought she was going to come out on Monday on Raw when Maxine Dupree slapped Chad Gable. I was like, okay, I
thought she was going to get yanked out of the ring. And
I was surprised by that.
Do something with her. She's got such a cool look.
She's so good.
She would be perfect with the Creed brothers.
Yeah, she really would.
And Chad, which I'm loving the Wyatt Six. They're just going to destroy these dudes real quick.
You know what? She would be good too, because she can almost be like a modern day Chyna. When I look at her,
just being the muscle for somebody.
Yes, she has a Chyna.
She can lift dudes up like it's no problem.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
NXT recap real quick. Julia wrapping up in Marigold August 19th. She will start her NXT journey there. So we'll get some awesome Japanese talent coming to NXT. We got the top free agent in Australia lady coming to NXT, and we got the top Mexican free agent coming to NXT. So the NXT
Very
women's
cool.
division already great.
I watch it from a distance, and I can tell that the women there are really good.
They like as good as the guys are. Like we just talked about, Trick Williams and Javon Evans and Wes Lee and all these guys in NXT crushing it. The women's division is dynamite.
I love it. Good, you go, girls.
This week's Great American Bash. I love they're doing all the old WCW pay-per-views for NXT. Joe Hendry concert. We get a Joe Hendry concert. Have you caught on to the Joe Hendry phenomenon?
What was that?
Say his name. We'll go down to Joe Hendry after this. He's I saw this and now I can't get it out of my head. Someone said he's Elias times 1,000. And I'm like, I loved Elias, but they're kind of right.
Really? Okay, I gotta watch.
It's the rest of the world sees what Elias fans saw in Elias.
Yeah,
like his whole gimmick is he's a Scottish pop star who thinks he's way bigger than he really is.
That's cool.
So like his intros, like 90s boy bandish, is the worst. He does the worst parody songs, but they're so bad they're good.
Okay,
it's
I gotta
amazing.
watch this. I love it.
The family's keeping up with the No Quarter Catch crew. The Cup, we got D'Angelo versus Tavion Heights, who's a former NCAA wrestler, so he's already coming in with a pedigree.
Pedigree, yeah.
They got a little group around William Regal's kid with like NCAA wrestlers.
Very cool.
And they're like keeping it real, and like you got to like beat one of the members to like get in the group.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing some really cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Roxanne Perez versus Thea Hale already put like they're two young stars. Like, they're both
I like Roxanne
19
Perez.
and 20 years old.
Yeah.
And
Is Roxanne Perez that young?
She's 21, I think.
I didn't realize that.
She came into the NXT when she was 20. When she was in Ring of Honor, she was 20.
Yeah.
She might be like 22, 23 now.
And Booker T kind of trained her, didn't he?
Yeah.
I like her.
And I love they're finally letting him show, like, that's my girl.
They're
finally being like, you can cheer for her.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be the heel commentator.
Yeah.
But now she's a heel. So now he can be like,
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love they keep heel commentators and face commentators. Ethan Page gets Ora Mensa. Ora's a young guy they're pushing. He's part of that metaphor with Lash Legend and Miss Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And Noam Dar.
I don't care for the Lash Legend. Like,
yeah.
It's not working for me. The mic work is not there.
Exactly. So
it's bad.
She's one of the biggest women stars they have, like size-wise.
Like big, yeah.
So she needs to be somebody's muscle and just kick people in the face.
I kind of I watched one time and I was like, ooh. Like it was not working for me.
They're completely misusing her.
Yeah.
Character.
And she's a big girl.
Yeah. She could be and she's so athletic because she was a volleyball player in college.
Yeah, she was some like accomplished athlete that I knew. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we get a 6-woman tag showcasing all the great stars. We got Sol Ruka, Carmen Petrovich, Lola Vice, who all three. Sol Ruka was a surfer gymnast.
Oh.
Carmen Petrovich was a MMA fighter.
Oh, wow.
And Lola Vice was a Miami dancer, but also an MMA fighter.
Okay.
So
she's a dancer.
The girl, and then against JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley, which Fallon finally had a heel turn. She's killing it. She's one of my favorite female wrestlers at NXT right now.
That sounds like a loaded card.
It's amazing. I'm excited. And this is just night 1. Next week's night 2.
That is
Great
pretty.
American Bash.
Oh, they do theirs in weeks.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels is killing it. You know me, I'm a massive HBK fan.
Yeah.
So just to see him get his stuff together and elevate NXT.
I was just gonna say I like this incarnation of him, but like back when he was
looks like a shell of himself.
Yeah,
like he's not the Heartbreak Kid by any means.
Yeah,
but he's turning into this generation's Dusty Rhodes.
And what you have to love about it is like Triple H hooked his friend up, and he's delivering. It's not like he just
hire him and be like, all right, don't mess it up.
Exactly. He's killing it.
I did they are doing this unhinged character with Brooks Jensen.
Uh-huh.
And during his losing it phase, he tweeted, Brett would book this better.
Oh.
I just thought it was funny that Shawn was okay with that shot.
Yeah.
Because old 90s Shawn Michaels would not have been okay with that.
Man.
So good to see him. So let's get into it. Smackdown.
Yes. Okay.
I did love that you brought it up. So let's go ahead and talk Jade, Bianca, Unholy Union. They're going to get that rematch. I'm thinking.
Okay.
So tell me how you're feeling, because what I saw the last time when they came to the ring, Bianca was in a singles match and Jade was following her.
Yeah.
And Jade was doing their little dance they do together. She either was checked out as a person that night, or she was checked out as her character.
Right.
Being like, I'm over this.
I noticed that. I noticed that she did.
Okay, so I was wondering if I was the only one.
It was one of those things I kind of like said, and then just didn't think of that. It's so clear to me a heel turn is coming. I feel it has to be Bianca, right?
I hope so.
I hope it's Bianca.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like, either I don't love these women who have the titles now. I think they got it at, because they were Scottish and it was in Scotland.
That caught me off guard. Like, I did not see them winning. But then again, like they usually do, impressive win that catches it off guard.
Yeah.
They face sense.
So there's a part of me that thinks, no way these women don't win their titles back, Bianca and Jade at SummerSlam, because it's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if they don't win, I'm like, we get our heel turn. We have to get our... However, I do think the heel turn, though, and the match would be great at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So then it makes me feel like they'll win the belts back. We'll kind of go through this for a while leading up into a heel turn.
It's like they did with Judgment Day. They teased Finn turning on Priest.
Yeah.
And then it went to bed for a while. But now we're getting that teasing again.
Something's coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go through your... Okay,
I
get so excited. I jumped the gun. Okay.
LA Knight pins Escobar, but then Legado beats him up. Is that if LA beats Logan Paul and takes the title, I would love for that to be his first feud.
Yes, that would be great. And I think if he does not win the title from Logan Paul, I honestly don't know what they're doing with him.
Right.
I really just
you got to hit reset on the kid again.
Yeah, because you faced Roman, you faced AJ. Like, where do you go with him?
Yeah, because I hope they bring back AJ in a different light. Because
I don't like heel AJ.
He deserves one final face run with some kind of championship.
Cena, well, no, because Cena's going out. No,
I think they're going to give Cena his flowers, and then they're going to focus on AJ because AJ's not too far behind him retiring.
Which I didn't love the fake AJ retiring thing, and because when it was happening, I was like, "Oh, AJ," and then the swerve, and I was like,
"I loved it if they actually did something with it."
Yeah.
The same thing with Mark Henry.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing with it, which I've later learned that was Mark Henry's decision.
Oh, is that right?
They were going to put the belt on him, but he was like, I don't want to do the press run. I don't want to be world champ.
You know what I have a respect about? What I have a respect about them all, though, the good ones, is they do what's best for business, right? And so they were saying the whole thing with Becky, like people were giving Becky Lynch such a hard time, but they literally needed her to get that belt, like hold it for a little while because they knew. And I just thought, good for her. So her stock will always be
always a Becky Lynch fan for
right.
Sure.
I like I like her. There was one of the I can't remember when one of the wrestling shows, and they were talking about her, and she was saying there was the match between her, Charlotte. And was it Ronda?
Yeah.
Somehow or another, everyone had like an action figure but her or something like that. But she was just saying how like no one expected anything of her. And so I'm happy.
I want to read her book. And I'm not a reader, but I want to read her book.
I'm an audiobook person. I've been thinking about it.
I love that they're focusing on secondary women's feuds because we're getting the Naomi Blair Davenport feud in the background that I'm hoping they'll ramp up a little bit.
Naomi. I try to get into Naomi. I can't. Her athleticism, I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. She just does not do it for me.
They should have kept her with Jade and Bianca.
Yes, that could have been so great. And I don't know. She just seems so lost, and I hate that for her.
I think me saying that this feud could ramp up is me wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Because I love Blair Davenport.
I
think
like
she's
what I
got
see
a
with
sinister
her.
character.
Yeah.
And if anything, I would put her with the Unholy Union. Like, if we're getting all these girl groups to keep them relevant, let's start trioing them off.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wish they would have kept Naomi with Blair, who am I saying? Jade and Bianca. I don't know what they're doing with her.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Because she definitely could have been used to facilitate the heel turn for one or the other.
She's probably just so happy to be back after the whole Sasha Banks thing.
Yeah, which she was queen of TNA though. You know what I mean? Like I've never been an independent wrestler or anything like that. I don't know numbers. I don't know contracts, any of that stuff. But it's interesting the mindset of you're on top of the world at TNA, but WWE comes calling. But you're not going to get pushed like you are in TNA. But that financial security.
Yeah. I like Sasha. I hate that so many people don't like her. I like her a lot.
I just wish they'd do something. But Camille was the NWA women's champion for so long.
Who was it?
Camille.
I don't think I know her.
I can't. She's this super tall blonde that looks like she's another Street Fighter
Oh,
character.
okay.
But she redebuted because she was in AEW and they're not using her. She debuted as Monet's muscle.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm hoping they're going to do something.
Very
with it.
nice.
So
Okay.
I always give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's so funny that 2 years ago, or even a year ago almost, we were talking about how AEW was killing the storylines.
Yeah.
WWE couldn't get any long-term storytelling, and now they've completely
Flipped it.
AEW's got the wrestling. I love I love watching the matches.
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm watching the great matches, I'm like, why are these two wrestling?
It's like,
There's no storyline here.
bring me in. Let me in. Yeah.
Bailey and Michin versus Nia and Tiffy. Nia and Tiffy won. I'm liking that they're setting up Nia to win the belt, and then Tiffany being that backstabbing friend.
I like that Tiffany Stratton.
I do too. I do too. She's a playful, funner
She
Charlotte.
is so fun to watch, and man, did she have her coming out party at Money in the Bank, and I like her. And you're right, I'm excited to see, although I adore Bailey. I'm not excited about her championship run, but I also don't like Nia. I think I like Nia more as Queen Nia. I think that's more fun, but I agree with you.
I truly think she's going to be a transitional champion to Tiffany.
I agree, because Tiffany is fun to watch. She is just, she's
They're
on
going to
the
have her
rise.
be the face of SmackDown when SmackDown goes to USA.
Yeah.
Because there's a week coming up here in September where we get WWE week at USA.
Oh,
We got
nice.
the fall and winter until January 1st when
Yeah.
Netflix kicks in. We get Raw, NXT, and SmackDown on USA.
I didn't realize that. Very cool. That'd be fun.
Because at the end of the year, NXT goes to the CW. SmackDown takes over their rightful place at USA, and then Raw goes. So for a little short period of time,
enjoy it.
USA's going to have everything.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what Raw's going to look like on Netflix.
I just hope they don't completely unbalance SmackDown.
They're going to have
USA
to, though. Don't you
USA's
think?
been so good to them. Like, don't
Yeah.
ransack the whole roster.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's too much talent. They truly cannot.
Yeah.
Like, there's not enough room to go around on Netflix. So I think we'll get the Romans and the Seths and the Cody. Cody will probably go over to Raw. He's just gonna have to.
Yeah.
And then we actually get when Eddie Guerrero and Edge and those guys were running SmackDown. We might get they might
That'd
throw
be- yeah.
one veteran over there to keep it entertaining. And
I'd
just
tell you
let
what-
the new guys flourish.
What they won't have to worry about at Netflix is a bleep button.
Thank goodness.
And they're probably all looking
We'll
forward
get
to
some
that.
kind of everyone loves to be like, bring back the Attitude Era. I don't
Yeah.
want that. Just because
yeah.
the wrestling wasn't that great, but the storylines were great.
I agree with you. Yeah.
But a new updated version of it to where it's not quite the PG era, it's not quite Attitude. Just we're all normal people.
But that's what I wonder too. It's like, how do you reconcile? Like, okay, obviously you can't do certain things because of television, but you have an audience full of kids. Do they care, or do they just like you said?
Like I said, I still think it's toned down to a little bit.
Yeah.
But luckily, they don't have to worry about it getting whole blacked out because some kid put up a middle finger to Logan Paul. Because it was kids. It was kids that were putting the middle fingers up. That's the best part. It wasn't adults.
That's hilarious. Hilarious.
The tag team #1 contenders gauntlet. They put up Bloodline is #1. So I mean, they're gonna destroy DIY, right? Jacob Fatu's not gonna look weak anytime
He
soon.
looks unhinged. He's fun to watch.
He's my favorite.
I
part
don't
right now.
love. Obviously, I'm just so diehard Roman. Like
Yes.
anything that doesn't involve him makes me sad. I'm not buying Solo Sikoa, but golly, that Jacob Fatu, it's just like he comes in. Him and Braun Breaker are two people, and I'm just like mesmerized.
I hope
by
they main event WrestleMania for years to come and throw Ilya in there and Carmelo.
Yeah. Oh,
The future is bright.
yeah. I am impressed, and I know I kind of got off the topic a little bit, but like Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, I love watching this new generation of wrestlers coming up.
Because we've gotten some bangers on NXT. I can't wait to see production value.
Yeah.
And WWE producers getting a hold of them and elevating. We're gonna have so many. Great
It's gonna be
main
fun.
events.
But back to your point, I agree with you. I think the Bloodline takes it. I don't know.
Let me raise you this.
Yeah.
Rock comes back and takes over this new Bloodline. Is all saved? Is this storyline salvaged for you if The Rock is behind all of this?
I know that he is behind it, so it's like I anticipate it.
Okay.
So probably not. I think for me, nothing's gonna make me happier than to see Roman come back. He comes back as a face. He gets the band back together.
Is it weird that we're gonna get a face Paul Heyman?
I love Paul. Paul, you are not my tribal chief.
That was his face turn right there.
Yes, that was his face turn. We all were
like, so it's like I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
We're there. Speaking of which, did you watch Biography Legends with him?
So I have AEW's app. It's not unlocked, so I'm waiting for his episode to get unlocked, and I can't wait because I've watched every single one. Up until this new season. It
just came on Sunday. It was really, really good.
The Yokozuna one's really good too.
Oh, was it?
I just watched it.
That's another thing I learned later in life. I was like, he wasn't Japanese.
I didn't know that either. That completely caught me off guard when I was a kid.
I was like, he wasn't Japanese.
And I remember my grandfather making jokes like he looks about as Japanese as I am.
Yeah.
It went over my head at that time, and I was like, whatever.
It was like Razor Ramon speaking Spanish. You're like, now I don't know a lot of things, but that doesn't sound right.
I thought he was Cuban.
Look, I'm a New Yorker. I know Spanish speaking people. Like so.
Me from North Carolina, I was like, this Cuban dude.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think the Bloodline wins it. I
think they got to put some gold on them to make them legitimate.
I agree with you. So I think that's why they win it. But I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. The other, okay, I'm letting you go to your list. I get so jacked up.
I love it. And then we got the main event scene where Cody, Bloodline, Solo, Randy, and KO are intertwined in there. Reigns and The Rock are always threatening to come back. Theory and Waller have been intertwined in there too, so I love they're getting some time.
They are entertaining. Yeah, I
love Grace.
I love Austin Theory. I like them both, but Austin Theory is my guy. He is just so fun to me. And again, we were talking earlier about like WWE, the Vault, and all that. Here's the show they need to create is just of promos. Like, I just want to see a show of promos.
We talked about last time you've talked about it.
Right? Because that's how passionate I feel about it.
I want that so bad.
Because when Roman told Austin Theory that time, right when Vince got fired, Daddy's gone now.
Daddy's gone now.
Love it.
That brief period of time where I feel like they let Roman just go out there.
He just did his thing.
He was on fire.
There's a lot happening here and a lot to unpack. And it's just like, does Roman come back? I think, there definitely is the heel turn from Randy Orton, right?
Yes.
Does it happen at SummerSlam?
I think Cody's got to get past the Bloodline first.
Okay.
I think we get a Roman return before we get a Randy heel turn.
Okay, I think I can agree with you.
Because I think it's finally going to be like Randy and KO and Sammy and all these guys finally get past the Bloodline. And then Orton's like, RKO.
That makes sense. That really makes sense.
I could see Survivor Series War Games.
Yeah.
I could see, like, if they don't get Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Yeah. It has to be that. I think we all believe that it has to be a War Games thing, right?
Yeah.
But then who is that? It's Roman, it's Jay, it's Sammy, because that's the other thing.
Could you imagine? I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Like, we don't have the full-on good Bloodline yet.
Yeah.
Like, they still can't get Jay on board.
Yeah.
Jimmy still hadn't come back. What if Roman and Cody have to team up to take down Solo's Bloodline?
I would like that. That would be fun.
I think that's how
that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I adore Cody Rhodes. He seems like the nicest person. Like, seems like somebody you would want to hang out with. His championship run is not exciting.
Because he hadn't faced anybody. Like, AJ was the most credible one, but we all knew he was going to beat him. Like, there hasn't been a threat.
It's like after the Roman thing, what do you do?
To be up here, and he just hadn't been.
So what do you see for him? Like, what happens with him?
I think, to be honest with you, they got to take the belt off of him.
They do, right?
Up. Like, he finished the story, but the story's not worth it anymore.
Nobody cares. We've moved on to a new story.
Like, I want to see him have great battles with, I think we're all holding our breath now for the Randy Orton because they have so much history.
That's the only big way to salvage it, right?
And I think Orton's got to take the title off of him. So I think they're going to keep him champ so Randy can take this belt. I
don't disagree with that. And I think you're right. Because there's what other big money matches are there? You can't do him and Roman again.
If Wyatt was going to be a heel faction, we were hoping they were going after Cody, but now their faces on Raw, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But that was the only other matchup where we were like, this could be interesting.
So do you think Roman comes back on Saturday?
Yes.
I do. I think whatever happens, I think Cody retains.
Yeah.
And I think you hear Roman's music at the end of it, and maybe he stands to the top of the thing.
And then people don't know, is he back to help Solo?
Or something.
Or they even, if you don't want to fly Roman out,
Yeah.
just have his music play.
That's what I'm saying. Somehow or another, there will be a Roman presence there, but he's not going to get involved in the match.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to be left guessing because I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think this is all leading to a Survivor Series,
Yeah.
which feels a ways off.
But it's not.
It's not,
It's
but
not.
it feels a ways off.
Because they got some great. They got Crown Jewel coming up.
Yeah.
They got Bash in Berlin coming
Yeah.
up. They got Bad Blood coming up. So they got some good ones coming up right before Survivor Series. So
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun being a wrestler.
it is.
Yeah.
Live from Cleveland this Friday on Smackdown. Over on the Raw side, you know they're going to do some stuff on Smackdown leading
Yeah.
into SummerSlam.
And I got to tell you something. This does not feel as big as SummerSlams in the past.
That's why I think they got to go all out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the build-up's been as what we've expected it.
Right. Because
But we got some good matches. We're
We
finally
do.
getting Drew and CM Punk.
That's gonna be good. But it's just weird to me. Like they were talking about SummerSlam 2025. I forget where that was gonna be. But it's like they were promoting the 2025 one when we hadn't gotten through there. It's something's really strange about
Yeah, I
this
don't know.
one.
I think
Yeah.
they're like, why did we pick Cleveland?
Well, my favorite chef is in Cleveland, Michael Simon. That's my chef crush.
Ooh,
I love Michael
yeah,
Simon.
he's fantastic.
Yeah, so
He
I think
makes some
Cleveland. I
great
think Michael
food.
Simon.
Great. He's got a new show, like out in his like backyard grilling area.
Simon's Dinners. I am. Trust me,
There
I'm
we
a
go.
Michael
I was like,
Simon
okay,
groupie.
sorry. Didn't mean to check. Didn't mean to check your
No
fandom there.
disrespect to his wife, but I love Michael Simon.
Over on Raw, we got the Seth referee moment with Drew and Punk. They couldn't touch each other, so they
That
got
was
pretty
cool.
in each other's face. Creed brothers beat Alpha Academy. Then they get
Wait, let's go back. What do
Okay.
you think is going to happen with that Seth Drew CM Punk thing?
Drew's got to win, right?
Yeah,
Like this whole feud. Like to me, I hope they had the conversation with CM Punk. Like you can come back, but you're putting talent over. You do know that, right?
he to me does not look believable. That whole best in the world. I'm like, Jay
That's when
Z
you
Jay Z has a rap song. We don't believe you. You need more people. Like I don't buy into him beating anybody.
Well, when
I
he
just
was the
don't.
best in the world,
Yeah.
he could go in the ring.
Yeah,
Now he can't go in the ring.
He just-
and
yeah.
now he's losing it on the mic. He's doing these old tactics. And I'm just like, this is boring and tired.
Do you see him with a long run here?
Yeah.
You do.
But like I said, putting over talent. I see him more of a main event Sheamus. You know, like he's there to elevate guys. I think he's doing, from the articles I've seen, he's doing great things with the NXT wrestlers.
Okay.
Like all the NXT wrestlers look up to him.
Okay.
Because he's been doing a lot, like with his rehab, he's been training a lot at the Performance Center.
Okay, so he's been
So
kind of pouring
Roxanne
into them a
Perez
little bit.
loves him. This next generation adores him.
It's funny because when they'll show some like digital exclusive and they'll show him and they don't mean to show it, like him hugging like some, you could tell he's probably a nice enough
I
guy.
just don't think he fit in with the AEW guys. I
Yeah.
think they didn't. Not that he needed them to kiss the ring, but he was ready to transition into that mentor role. And I think he went to AEW and they're like, "Pfft, whatever, bro.
Well,
Whatever,
you own
Gramps." You know?
Do you think he transitions back into commentary at some point or
I
like a
hope so.
behind the scenes role, like
I
as
would
a
love
producer?
to see him do something, like be the main
see-
commentator on NXT.
I would buy him like that. But him in the ring, it's not believable to me that he would beat Drew McIntyre.
Well, I don't think we got to wait too much longer because, dude, the last 3 times he stepped in the ring, he's torn something or broke something. So you mean to tell me he's going to be in a physical match with Drew McIntyre and something's not going to pop off?
And can I tell you, when Drew talks about how much he can't stand, I believe Drew. Drew
This
looks
is the
like
best
he's not.
run of Drew's career.
Yeah, he looks like he's not acting. He's
And
like
that's why they got to do something with him.
Yeah.
I want to see him and Gunther feud forever after this.
Oh gosh, okay, I can't wait till we get there.
But he's the face in that.
Yeah.
Does Drew McIntyre finally beat up CM Punk so much that we're like, yeah, he's the face?
I'm Team Drew. I'm Team Drew heel. I'm
Same.
Team Drew face. I'm
Well,
Team
I think
Drew.
they're doing a good job of keeping him the anti-hero.
I agree. I like
Because
it.
he can go back if he needs to. How you feeling about the Creed brothers, Alpha Academy? The maskless Wyatts attacked them. Finally
was
got to see him.
interesting.
And I'm loving Dexter.
Yeah, I was like,
I've always been a
Dexter
Dexter.
Lumen.
And now he's got the braids, the long hair. We finally see him in the ring next week.
Do you think they amassed them because we need to see them in the ring?
I think they didn't want to paint themselves into a corner again with how terrible Bray said wrestling in the Fiend get up was.
Oh, okay.
So I think they
Okay.
wanted something that was easy to
Yeah.
wrestle in. And I love that they're playing that character as they're not supernatural and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just a group of, they're like the island of misused toys.
Yeah, and you gotta love Nikki Cross, right? Like she's just. I was like, oh,
Crazy.
Nikki Cross.
This is the role she's meant.
I was like, you've been born to play this. You know,
because I loved Sanity.
yeah, Chad Gable is entertaining. I love him for this. I love this. The Creed brothers, I liked watching them because they're so athletic, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays
They
out.
needed to put him with somebody.
Yeah.
I'm glad he landed with Gable.
I think that's perfect.
I think it's going to benefit the Creed brothers way more than Gable, but this also elevates Gable. Like, Chad Gable is the first feud of the most anticipated group in a long time.
That's saying a lot.
Exactly.
They put a lot of, WWE put a lot of stock in it. I think probably we start to see Otis and Tozawa and Maxine go away because it's just like they really don't have a purpose. And I'm okay with that.
They needed to lose to the Creed brothers. They did. Now what happened?
Yeah.
Like, it's funny they still call them the Alpha Academy. Like, shouldn't that be Gable and the Creed brothers now?
You would think.
Whatever. I love they're keeping these guys doing something because they'll probably be on like the pre-show or something for SummerSlam. But Bronson Reed, Sheamus, Pete Dunne, Pete hitting Sheamus, costing him the match. I'm loving this.
I like
we used to be boys, now we're not.
And like, why are we not boys?
Dunne.
Yeah.
Like, because he's causing problems in NXT when he goes down there.
Yeah.
Like,
I like this. I agree with you. Something in the pregame, a pregame match would be good. That would be fun. I'm okay with it. I like Big Bronson Reed.
I love that they're finally cashing in on what they told us they were going to do years ago, and each superstar has multiple storylines going on.
Yeah.
Because also the Judgment Day are dealing with Jay and Sammy.
That is interesting, and they keep teasing that they're coming back together. How do you feel about Sammy as champion?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be over with at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was going to say, it
when
has
he
to
beat
be.
Bronson, or when he beat Bron
Bron
Breakker,
Breakker, yeah.
I was like, what? But now I see they're just saving it for SummerSlam. They're like, let's do it on a bigger pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Bron's going to destroy
There's no way this Braun... Like, again, back to, what's his name, CM Punk. I don't believe Sammy can beat Bron Breakker. Like, unless you write it out. Like...
They did a great job of having him fight him off for as long as he could.
Yeah. And this kid is good. Like, he's quick and he's fast and he's strong. And his promo was good. Like, his promo on... what did he say? Well, you out here... telling something he said something that was like it was really good. And I was like, he's ready.
Yeah,
he's ready.
He just needs to lay off the spray tan. That's all.
He's just right. Yeah,
but no, I'm a massive Bron Breakker fan. Finn got choked out by Gunther.
That was interesting.
Yeah,
the way that ended was really interesting.
Well, they didn't want to. I don't think they wanted to make Finn look weak, but obviously the number one contender you got to make look hella strong.
Yeah.
So this was the tried and true, not a clear, like, they didn't want to have a wonky finish because the fans would have been upset. You don't have the go home Raw ending a wonky finish unless it's the two that are fighting at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And so I like that Gunther was like, choked you out. Finn's like, I didn't quit, so and he got a lot of offense in.
He did. What do we think? You're right. There's so many tentacles to this, right? Does Finn turn on Damian Priest? Yeah. Is there a Liv component? Like what?
So Liv cut a fire promo.
Say it again.
Liv cut a great promo.
She really
fire
did.
With Dominic on the truck behind her.
That was good.
I say it time and time again, but the production value is through the roof.
It's really good.
The camera angles they're using, the promos, like, dude can't cut a live promo, get him in a vignette. Yeah.
And then you can edit that and just work with them. Yeah.
I'm loving the different promos we're getting, the different camera angles. Every time Jay enters in, they follow him all the way in. Like,
what's funny? It's like he's coming through and the kid is standing there. It's like, you're in the way. The kid was like, what is going on here? That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
But I'm loving everything they're doing. But like you said, me and Evan a few weeks ago said my theory is Finn is going to accidentally...
I heard you all say this.
Damien at SummerSlam, and then when they go to Berlin, he's going to on purpose cost him.
I can see that.
Because it's so funny, wrestling parallels itself.
Yeah.
You find storylines in history that could match up to storylines here, because it's the Shawn Michaels Diesel breakup.
Oh, right.
Shawn accidentally kicked him in the face against Razor Ramon, and then the rematch the next month, he on purpose kicked him in the face. So
I can see that. So we think that Damian Priest loses the title. How does he not lose it back to Gunther? I think he does, right?
Yeah. The only thing that worries me about them giving the title to Gunther is they've built up this sad babyface story now about Damian living on the streets. So now we're like, why did you do that? And now you take the title off of him? That hurts.
I tell you, but what there was like, is there going to be like some big interview with him on Saturday or something? Yeah, they were talking about during the pregame.
He's got his own show at noon that day.
And so it's like when they start doing that, it's just like, okay, here's like it's like your gift basket. Like, okay, we're gonna take the belt, but we're gonna give you this little thing.
Yeah, and I'm good with it because Gunther is a champion.
He is. But can I tell you, when Gunther was like, "You are street trash," I was like, "This feels racial." Like,
I clutched my pearls. I clutched my pearls.
Yeah,
like,
and it was funny because I posted on Facebook. I was like, I wasn't really a Damian Priest fan, but and then someone said, "Why?" I was like, because I felt attacked for him.
And I think that's what they meant for.
I think they definitely. I think it felt had racial overtones.
Yeah,
and I didn't like
European white dude.
Yeah. Talking about this guy from New York,
at one point.
I was like, I don't like it.
No, yeah. But they hit that chord in you.
Yeah,
now you're pulling for Damian Priest.
They did what they set out to do. Yeah. But I will tell you this, their feud seems so believable. They've done such a great job.
It came out of nowhere. It was sucking so much.
Yeah.
And they have amped it up.
They did a great job.
I feel you on the racial tones, and but it got that feud.
It did its job. Yeah. It did its job. Kudos to them for that.
I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. Karrion Kross defeats Xavier Woods. How do you feel about him breaking up the New Day? Because
please make this storyline stop.
Because Kofi got cleared and wrestled in Japan.
And then got hurt again.
So what are they going to like? Almost here for Xavier joining Final Testament just to see where it plays out.
It feels like it's going there.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, what would the payoff be? Yeah. And then he has no place. And then the fact that they keep bringing up Kofi's hurt, and it's just like, I feel like he eventually goes there. But
why do they keep putting Paul Ellering out there?
Huh?
Just why do they keep trucking out decrepit Paul Ellering?
I just feel like
he's not talking.
Yeah.
He's not.
It's too many people in that group. And I've said that before. I don't know what they do with this. But this story,
Paul and Scarlett to have Karrion do all the talking.
Yeah. I just feel like this is one of those storylines I was okay if it went away. Like it serves no purpose.
It's really just filling time.
It really is.
Right now. It's giving them something to do. I don't know what to do to salvage Final Testament at this point.
And I like Karrion Kross's look. I actually just liked when it was him and Scarlett.
Yes.
I don't need AOP. They didn't need
AOP just doesn't need them either.
Mm-mm. I love the feud he had with Bobby Lashley. I thought that was great. But I just feel like he's another one. Like they don't know what to do with.
They don't know what to, again, too many people.
Yeah.
Damage Control returns, attacks the villain.
That was kind of cool.
I enjoyed that.
What was the thing on it? Was it? I couldn't see they kept doing this.
It was like a Japanese
tattoo.
Yeah, something. So, did you ever watch Lucha Underground?
No.
So Lucha Underground's how I got Laura into wrestling.
Oh, is that right?
The production value was cinematical. Like, it was great. But Io Sky was part of this ninja group.
Oh, okay.
And they had fights with dudes. They had fights
She's
with
incredible.
Everyone. Like, if you can find it on YouTube, if I find a link, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
But it's Pentagon Jr. and Io Sky beating the absolute crap out of each other.
Wow.
And it's amazing that Io, they let her go with the dudes in the ring, and you didn't even think twice about it being an intergender match. So
she is incredible.
That gave me some vibes from that when they all showed up with like the gang tattoo.
Yeah.
And stuff. I was like, yes.
You felt like it was a reset because when Io Sky, right before they went away, she's like, something has to change, and I'm like, they came back, and you felt like, okay. And what I love is this feud between Zoe Stark and Sonya Deville and Baszler, Shayna Baszler. I love that. I'll tell you what else I love about this. Zelina Vega, no one gives her credit for her promos. Right now, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she had the flip-flop.
Yeah, and when she called them the Forehead Crew or something like that, and I could not unsee that, because then when they came to the ring, I'm like, she's right. They all have the pronounced foreheads. But I love that they're giving Zelina Vega some love, and she's playing her role really well.
Yeah.
But she's another one. She's so tiny. I'm like, they're going to hurt my little Zelina.
Yeah. That's something they got to do away with is the LWO. It's run its course, but now it's holding every one of them back.
Yeah, yeah.
Put the tag team back in NXT. They were having great matches in NXT. Let Ray do some legend
Ray has to go. Like, I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like,
I think we get him and Dominic at WrestleMania that's coming up here.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be like, what do you call that? A retirement match? Or,
oh, God. Do we get Cena and Ray retired in the same WrestleMania, though?
I don't think they're going to. I agree with you. I think they're going to give Cena his flowers.
And then worry about everybody
But
else.
I got to be honest with you. I have a tremendous amount of respect for John Cena, but like, you can go.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think he realized it. I think he's like, I get it. Can I get one more run?
Yeah, we don't need to do all of this. Like, you could just You could just have
What
one.
I'm worried is they're gonna make him champ one more time to break Rick's record for no reason. Like
That
they
would be
did,
horrible.
Like
I hope they don't.
when Goldberg beat Bray Wyatt for the belt.
That was so everybody was so pissed.
I lost touch for a little bit.
Yeah, I
stopped
was
watching
pissed
for a
with
little
that.
bit. This next week we get Sonya Deville versus Dakota Kai to further that feud.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Although I think she probably will hurt Dakota Kai.
And then Wyatt Six versus Gable and the Creed brothers.
Okay, here's a question I have. I was thinking SIX. Apparently it's SICK.
CKS.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, there's Wyatt Six because they're the sick people from the Wyatt
Okay,
family.
I did not.
I didn't see it. I didn't know it until I saw one of their shirts.
I was like, somebody's spelling this wrong. Somebody should be fired. Then I was like, oh, okay.
Because they wanted to leave it mysterious because Bray obviously is supposed to be the sixth member. So they're like, let's name it Six. So they can't be like, Six, where's the six?
I literally did that. When they when they were introduced, I was like, 1, 2, 3. I literally was doing that.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, they're like, Bray's supposed to be the sixth member.
They did that so well. WWE did
And
that.
everyone was like, they're so slow.
No, they did that well. I have to give them credit. Because at one point, I too was like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah. But then that next week, you're like, yes.
They did it.
I love the tapes.
Yes.
They're not even delivering them anymore. They're just like, hey, here's the next one. And it still works.
It's good stuff. What do you think the Pat McAfee connection to all of this is?
So rumor is it's going to have to play out soon because he might leave
To go
because
do
he's
football,
doing
right?
game day, and I
Yeah.
think he doesn't like doing both.
Yeah.
And I don't think WWE really wants him to do both.
You know, good for he's someone else who grew on me, but I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And I think he does a fantastic job, and his chemistry with Michael Cole is really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'll miss him when he goes away.
Same. And
Yeah.
then, of course, they'll have to reshuffle again, so we'll see who goes where.
Yeah, and I think Corey Graves on the other side does a fantastic job.
I love Corey Graves.
I like him a lot.
Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they do good.
Well, let's get into our SummerSlam predictions.
Okay,
Miz is the host. SummerSlam in Cleveland. I love that he's
that's cool.
I've always been a fan of Miz. Sucks to hear he got treated so poorly early on, but
I
he
heard there's
went
gonna be
through
like
it.
another heel turn. Have you heard that?
Oh, I haven't heard that.
I read somewhere it might be.
Oh, is he
another
going to
heel
turn on R-Truth?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
read that.
I mean, R-Truth has been annoying the crap out of him, so I can see it.
But I think Miz does well in both capacities, so he's fun to watch regardless of what he's doing.
But at the time, when he's a face for too long, you're like, all right, man.
Yeah.
We know you do your best work as a heel.
yeah, I think it's going back.
The other Cleveland native, Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. Championship, they have not done a good job of pushing this feud.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Logan Paul's there, and then he's not there for 2 weeks, and then he's there. They got to take the belt off him.
They got to take it off him. It's funny because he's another one that irritates me, but he does a good job.
Yeah,
like you
I
can't
love to hate
deny
it.
that he
Yes.
does a good job. And kudos to him, he takes it seriously and he wrestles well.
Yeah.
So I can't take that from him. I just don't like the guy.
We could get some
I don't like
surprises
the
in this
character, I
match.
should say.
Because rumor is his brother might show up. Jake could make an
That could
appearance
be
since
fun.
they're Cleveland boys.
And would Mike Tyson come?
Well, I would love that Tyson would show up for LA Knight.
That would be
great.
fun. That would be fun.
That would be amazing. Bailey versus Nia Jax for the women's championship. It's got to be Nia, right? Unless they want to throw Tiffy in with a cash in to mess things up.
I think I'm hoping it's not, but I'm thinking you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be insane if
Yeah.
Tiffany cost Nia.
Tiffany,
With the failed cash in.
she's so fun to watch.
Yes.
They did a good job with her.
They just ruined Drew's cash in, so this one's got to be legit.
This has to be, yeah.
You can't have one phony and another phony.
But I love how Bailey smashed the briefcase, and next thing you know, she comes back with it all taped up in these like Pepto-Bismol colors.
You got to roll with the case given to you.
There you go.
Don't get a new one.
No, you don't.
How you feeling about Sammy and Braun? This got to be Braun, right?
Has to be Braun. It makes no other sense to me.
Give him an epic match. Let Sammy look great in defeat.
Yeah.
Just have Braun be too much. Spear him 3 times or something.
I want it to be Braun because I do want Sammy and Jay to get back together, and I want Roman to come get them.
I think that's what's going to happen because I think Sammy and Jay are going to start chasing the tag team belts.
Yeah.
So they can take the belt
The
off Sammy.
bloodline. Yeah, that makes sense.
And all this has got to enter. Because the good thing is they're leaving so many options open.
Yeah.
We don't know at the end of the day is Sammy going to be on that? Is Jacob Fatu going to defect to the other team? Like there's so many variables that keep this storyline.
How much would you kill to like be in the writing room at WWE?
I would love to be a
right?
writer.
Can you just picture
be
everyone
stressful,
sitting
but I would love
around
it.
and like a whiteboard? And
I would have to have a whiteboard.
Yeah.
Current champs, future feuds.
Yeah.
Like where are we going with this character? Or I
That
hope
would
they
be
have that,
so
at least.
fun. Yeah.
CM Punk, Drew McIntyre.
I'm Team Drew all day, every day.
And I just hope they have a good match. I hope CM Punk his body doesn't give out, that they can actually put on a good match.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, how Seth involves himself. But I want Drew to destroy him.
Yeah,
I just do.
I think it might be that Seth cost Drew by accident.
That's another thing. They can't keep doing this to Drew. It's not right. It just is. At some point, it's just like not right.
Yeah,
and it's not right.
His own family.
That was rude.
Yeah,
that
he should have been the champion.
In Scotland, they should have let him have it.
I'm hoping they make things right, because he's going to feud with CM Punk for a while.
Yeah,
probably through Survivor Series. But I'm hoping Drew wins.
He has to win.
I hope Drew wins a Rumble next year.
Yeah.
Then his story can end.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley.
I want Liv to retain.
Okay.
I do. I really do. I think she's so good. I love her mic work. I think I want her to retain.
I think that's a big possibility, because I truly don't think Rhea's 100%.
And I think everyone is so just thinking it's a foregone conclusion that Rhea's going to get it, that this will be a good swerve. And somehow or another, there's some Finn Dominic shenanigans. Something's going on here.
I'm hoping that this breakup broke her, too. And we get that sadistic Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
I'm here for it, too.
I was hoping she was going to turn and start crying when Dominic said that, and then just be like...
Yes. Had that crazy look.
I hope we get that at SummerSlam.
I'm excited for it. I hope Liv retains.
Yeah. Damian Priest and Gunther.
That's going to be good. I feel like it has to be Gunther, but I think that's going to be a really good match.
Be lit.
Yeah.
Did you see poor Finn?
Oh, my gosh. Ooh. Yeah. What happened to Ludwig Kaiser? Do we know? Tiffy's boyfriend?
Yeah. I think, did he get hurt against Sheamus?
I don't know, but he just didn't show, because it's funny when I was like, where is he?
I think they kind of went with Plan B with Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Because Ludwig might have got hurt.
Did I hear
he could show up.
Wait, did I hear you guys talking about that you thought, or did I read that someplace else? What's the guy? Giovanni, what's his name?
Vinci.
That he may show up, but that doesn't seem logical.
No. Okay. I think he's getting sent back to NXT.
Oh, okay.
I think they're repackaging him for NXT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering with Ludwig Kaiser.
That's a good point. He has not been on TV for a while. What are the boys? Wouldn't that be crazy if they came back? I liked Imperium.
Yeah, I did too.
And then the main event, Cody Rhodes. This has got to be. I don't know if Priest and Gunther will main event, or if Cody and Solo. If they have all the shenanigans. If Cody and Solo goes last, somebody's showing up.
Cody and Solo going last because Roman. There's some Roman component, and I just think, and I think you have to have Cody be last. Slam. Yeah, because Cody, while they kind of rename, because they don't even call it the Universal Championship,
it's the undisputed WWE Championship,
which is interesting that they just changed it. But
Damian's is the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, so you feel like Cody's title is bigger than Damian, so I feel like that's going to be the final match. But I agree with you. If it goes last, something's going to happen.
Because the bloodline's going to be intertwined.
So what do you think are going to be the big surprises?
That's a very good question, because there's so many ways that this can go.
Yeah.
I think Roman shows back up, but I think he plays it coy.
I agree.
Because he's not just going to come back and punch Solo in the face. Mm-hmm. What's the point of that?
And plus, Solo keeps referencing Roman.
And I think it's one of those things where Roman falls back in line, but then we're like, oh, Roman's about to ruin this from the inside out. So I think it's one of those that he shows up and he's on board to begin with, and then the following weeks will tell us.
That's interesting. You think that? I think Roman's personality cannot have him be under anybody, even for a little while.
Even to deceive him?
No,
even to be yeah.
No, I can't see it.
Because I just think it goes along with when Jay was rising up, and he was like, you want to be Tribal Chief? Be Tribal Chief.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's going to be fun and entertaining. And you probably, you say you have not seen any of these seasons. Did you see the Roman Reigns right before WrestleMania?
The biography?
Yeah, the biography.
I did see that one. That was great. Because you truly really start being like, Roman is just Roman.
Yeah.
Joe and Roman are the same person.
I watched, I was like, oh, he's not playing. He's this guy. He really is that guy.
They finally let him be himself on TV.
And he was like that guy. But what I loved about that so much, and when Jimmy was talking about him, and how Jimmy was talking about, Roman has set this up for us. Like, he really is working the plan to make sure we all elevate. And so, like, even the whole thing with Solo, because remember at WrestleMania when Solo came out and he's looking at Roman like, what are you doing? Like, get him. And we're like, who's he talking to like that? So it's just like, this is the most brilliant storyline of my lifetime watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, the bloodline is just...
Because every time you think you're like, man, it is so old.
Yeah.
They do something, you're like, okay, I'm back.
Because I don't even like this version of it with this new incarnation of it, but I know there's something coming.
The only reason I love it is Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
He's clearly the superstar.
Yeah. But I know I know my Roman's coming back, so that's why I'm like...
If I got my way, if I'm in the writer's room,
Yeah.
Solo beats Cody.
Yeah.
I know that's blasphemy to say. Solo, with the help of the bloodline, beats Cody. And then as they're all standing there, Roman's music hits. And he walks out. And Solo's like, all right, he's back. And then Paul walks out. And then fade to black.
Yes. I'm excited for the possibility. It's gonna be so hard to stay off social media.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
So I'm only an hour away in Bowling Green. So I'm going to wrap up my show and come home and hit the rewatch immediately. So
I'm going to be in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to be a ways away. And then I'm trying to think. I may can come back to the room and watch it on my phone for a little bit, and then when I come back to the airport Sunday, I may try to watch the rest of it.
I mean, at least watch the main event. See what happens, so you don't have to spoil that for yourself.
God, but this is gonna be exciting.
Yeah,
this is good. Yeah, so it's exciting, and kudos to WWE. They always put on a good show, so I know whatever it is, we're gonna be entertained.
So entertaining. I'm so hyped for it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tara. Where can they find you?
On social media at Tara Brown Comedy. Thank you so much for having me. I always enjoy
I love these
talking
talks.
about this. And it's so funny because one time you said to me, hey, you want to come on? And I was like, save me for SummerSlam.
Yeah, and here we are.
And here we are. So thank you so much for having me. And hey, Evan.
Yeah. Evan is still on his summer road trips. I think he's in New York right now. So, Evan, we miss you. Come on back. Check out Project Nerd. Check out all their great content. We appreciate them sponsoring our weekly roundup each week. Check out Drew Harrison Comedy on all the YouTube, social medias, all that good stuff. But more importantly, check out SummerSlam. Report back next week. I got special guest co-host Lee Harden joining me to recap SummerSlam. So we will see you next week.